The NFL is packed with insane athletes doing jaw-dropping things on a weekly basis, but every once in a while, someone comes along who's on a whole different level. Someone who makes even the league's top players stop and take notice. Saquon Barkley is that kind of player. Since joining the New York Giants in 2018, Barkley has been making defenders look silly, putting up mind-blowing numbers and delivering moments that only a rare few can even imagine, let alone pull off. Today, we're diving into the game that catapulted Saquon Barkley into superstar status, a performance that solidified him as one of the NFL's most electrifying talents. Saquon Barkley was not your typical draft prospect. After a sensational college career that saw him rush for 3,843 yards and 43 touchdowns across his 3 seasons at Penn State, Barkley was awarded the generational prospect tag. He set several school records and was recognized as a consensus All-American, in addition to receiving the Paul Hornung Award and being named the Big Ten Most Valuable Player twice. His reward for all that production was joining Reggie Bush and Ronnie Brown as the only running back since the year 2000 to be picked as high as 2nd overall. In 2018, it was the Giants who held that 2nd overall pick, opting to select the sensational running back prospect instead of a quarterback. It was a risky decision given the state of the New York Giants franchise, but it paid off early. As a rookie, Saquon Barkley delivered on all the hype and more, averaging 5 yards per carry for 1,307 yards and 11 touchdowns on the ground, in addition to 91 receptions for 721 yards and 4 more touchdowns through the air. His 91 receptions set a new NFL record for the most by a rookie running back in a single season, with Barkley surpassing the 2,000-yard mark from scrimmage in his first year in the NFL. It was clear the Giants had picked a stud. While the Giants remained a struggling franchise, mainly because the selection of Daniel Jones in the top 10 the following year didn't exactly work out, Barkley remained a game-changing talent. He hit 1,000 yards on the ground again as a sophomore, despite only playing in 13 games, before a devastating injury early in the 2020 season significantly hampered the next 2 years of his career. He rebounded well, though, to deliver 2 more strong seasons in New York, starting with a career-high 1,312 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns in 2022, before making a controversial switch to play for the division rival Philadelphia Eagles in 2024. It was always clear that Saquon Barkley had immense talent, but with him playing on such a poor New York team, normally behind a bad offensive line, fans couldn't help but wonder what this guy would look like on a more talented offense. Well, we got our answer in 2024. After just 9 games with the Philadelphia Eagles, Barkley is averaging 5.8 yards per carry for 991 yards and 6 touchdowns, well on track to smash his previous career high. He has been every bit as good as anyone could have asked for, confirming that he really is one of the most dangerous weapons the NFL has ever seen. You only have to look at his viral backward hurdle to get a sense of the freakish talent the Eagles have on their hands. As of the midpoint of the 2024 season, it's great to see Saquon Barkley being properly unleashed, but when was it that we first saw the emergence of this superstar version of Saquon Barkley? For that, we'll have to go back to his rookie season. The 2018 New York Giants were not a good team, which should come as no surprise. After all, you have to lose a lot of games to be awarded the 2nd overall pick, and a running back, no matter how good they are, isn't going to fix things on their own. Nevertheless, Saquon Barkley set about transforming the 2-win team as best he could. He hit the ground running with 100 yards in his debut and surpassed the 100-yard mark yet again in a Week 6 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, where he also posted 99 receiving yards. That was a common trend throughout the early stages of that 2018 season, with Barkley unable to overcome the underwhelming output from the rest of his teammates, resulting in the team slipping to a 1-7 record. However, things began to change after the team's Week 9 bye, with the victory over the 49ers giving the team a much-needed boost and some momentum to build around. That victory laid the foundations for a better stretch from the New York Giants, and the driving force was their rookie running back. It was time for him to take the next step and become a superstar, and the unfortunate team to suffer as a result of the breakout was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At the time, Tampa were suffering through a similarly frustrating season, sitting on a 3-6 record and having already seen both Ryan Fitzpatrick and Jameis Winston spend time as the starting quarterback. They viewed this trip to New York as an opportunity to get a much-needed win against a rare inferior opponent. Saquon Barkley had other ideas. The young rookie was the focal point of the Giants' opening drive, with Eli Manning handing him the ball on each of the first 3 plays of the game. He took those 3 carries for 15 total yards before Manning unfurled a beautiful deep pass to another young superstar, Odell Beckham Jr. With the Giants now inside the 10-yard line, Eli went right back to his rookie running back, tossing him an easy 6-yard completion for the opening score of the game. If you need any evidence of how highly the Giants rated Saquon Barkley, you only have to look at the fact that they went to him on 5 of the 6 plays they ran on the opening drive, utilizing him to set the tone. Tampa Bay replied nicely, driving the ball all the way down to the 4-yard line, where they were stuffed on a 4th down Ryan Fitzpatrick sneak. This gave the ball back to New York in a tricky spot right next to their own end zone. But fortunately, they had an explosive, bruising running back that they could use to create some space. On 1st and 10, Barkley stormed through the line of scrimmage to power the pack to 2nd and 1, before taking the next snap another 10 yards to get them comfortably out of their own end zone. Those 2 plays alone detailed exactly how dangerous Barkley was, even as a rookie. Both times he was met at the line of scrimmage, and both times he used his powerful frame and famously big quads to shed his tacklers and bound downfield. He was not somebody you wanted to meet in the open field, but it wasn't just power that was allowing him to win. Later on in that drive, Saquon showed off his impressive vision and elusiveness to double back on a run play to the right, reversing crossfield to pick up the 1st down off the left edge to the 10-yard line. It then took him just 2 more plays to pound in his 2nd touchdown of the day, barreling over the Tampa Bay defensive line for 5 yards on each run. The run to score the touchdown literally involved him jumping over the traffic to find the gap he needed for the score. Barkley had now put the Giants up by 14 points to the Buccaneers 0, having shown all the speed, power, balance, and agility that the Giants were after when they selected the generational prospect. The game was a quarter down, and it was clear that Saquon Barkley was in full game-wrecking mode. The Giants didn't find quite as much success in the 2nd quarter and gave up a touchdown to make it a 1-score game, but they did wrestle back some momentum by intercepting Fitzpatrick just before half, preventing the Buccaneers from going in level. New York then got off to the best possible start in the 2nd half, intercepting Fitzpatrick again, but this time returning it all the way for a touchdown to increase the lead to 21-7. Yet another interception by Fitzpatrick gave the Giants an opportunity to put the game out of reach, but when New York had to settle for a field goal, Tampa Bay were given a small sliver of hope. That hope increased with the arrival of Jameis Winston, who was brought in to replace Ryan Fitzpatrick and promptly marched down the field to score a touchdown on his first drive, bringing the score to 24-14. With the lead now cut to 10, and Tampa Bay looking more threatening with Winston under center, the Giants needed a drive to settle them down. Of course, Saquon delivered. After Manning connected on a 27-yard pass to Odell Beckham Jr., Barkley converted 2 first downs in a row with runs of 14 and 13 yards respectively. In doing so, he passed the 100-yard mark for the day, showing off his lethal one-cut ability and shedding defensive tackles along the way. The drive culminated in a touchdown pass to Beckham, giving the Giants a bit more breathing room. A 17-point lead with under 3 minutes to play made it appear as if the Giants had their first win of the season wrapped up. But 2 impressive drives from the Buccaneers, which lasted under 6 minutes in total, brought them back within 3 points with around 5 minutes still left on the clock. Tampa Bay had all the momentum, and all of a sudden, the threat of an 8th loss in 10 games was looking like the most likely outcome for New York. That was until Eli Manning hooked up with Evan Ingram on the next drive for 54 yards, taking them all the way to the Buccaneers' 11-yard line. And when the ball is that close to the end zone, you already know what time it is. It's Saquon time. Following the long pass to Ingram, the Giants put all their faith in their rookie running back to close out the drive. Saquon picked his way through the line of scrimmage on 1st down and was agonizingly close to making it all the way to the end zone, with Bucs defenders hanging on to him for dear life. It was only a matter of time though. On 3rd down, Barkley simply lowered his helmet and powered his way through the line to score his 3rd touchdown of the day, giving the Giants a 10-point lead with under 4 minutes left on the clock. The Buccaneers did manage to get one last touchdown to pull within 3, but there was not enough time left on the clock to threaten the Giants again after that. It was a huge day for New York, winning just their 3rd game of the season, but things were a bit different this time. The victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was the Giants' first home win of the season, providing Saquon Barkley the platform for his first superstar game-winning performance in front of his adoring home crowd. Only 3 points separated the two teams at the end, with Barkley's 152 total yards from scrimmage and 3 touchdowns dwarfing everybody else on the field and proving to be the difference. Anytime the Buccaneers built momentum, Barkley was there to hammer them back into submission, handling a whopping 27 carries on the day and proving every bit as good as Giants fans could have hoped. He was touted as a generational prospect, and this game alone proved that he was exactly that. He had the power to run through linebackers, the speed to run past corners, and the clutch presence to deliver a much-needed win for a home crowd that had been given very little to celebrate that season. As a rookie, he had put the team on his back, and no stat sums it up better than this. Of his 142 rushing yards, 124 of them came after contact, which was a season high for him. That is what we call beast mode. From that moment on, Saquon Barkley was a certified superstar and household name, and nothing has changed in the years since. Barring the 2 years he struggled with injury in 2020 and 2021, Saquon Barkley has been one of the most reliable players in the NFL for jaw-dropping highlights and game-changing performances. In his first season outside of New York in 2024 with the Eagles, he has even managed to take things to the next level, passing the 100-yard mark in 5 of his 9 games by the midpoint of the season, and producing one of the most incredible plays in NFL history when he hurdled backwards over a Jacksonville Jaguar defender in Week 9. There are not many running backs in the NFL who can power through the line of scrimmage one play, catch a long wheel route for a touchdown on the next, and also leap over another professional athlete while traveling backwards. It is a unique skill set that makes Saquon Barkley a true NFL superstar and box office entertainment every time he steps onto the field. Hopefully, he still has plenty more years left in the tank, because this running back certainly deserves a ring and a spot in Canton. The question is, does it happen? Let me know in the comments.